Oh, that explanation is very helpful.
Yeah, thank you.
I kind of tried to do it slower. It's okay. It just reminds me to check this before we. Public comment, we have no one in Zoom. Doesn't, unless no staff wants to say anything. Let's go all the way to business item 5A, which is the Friends of the Past Trails Maintenance. Bo has that up on screen. I don't believe that there are any changes from the one that was set last year. But I know Nancy's gonna have something. Don, did you review this? Did you have any comments?
No, not on the contract.
So Rocco said, this is the same agreement we've used for the past 2 years with following updates and background and purpose section and changed the year to 2024. So it's pretty much the same.
Yeah, so let's look at the, we don't need to look at the date, but let's look at the section that was changed.
Background and purpose, which is at the top. Right there.
$100,000 10-year 2019 agreement with Falls Comprehensive Plan identifies trails and hiking as 2 of the top 6 love things about Great Falls. The town's 5-member Park Trails Advisory Board does not have the capacity to perform trails maintenance to the extent required. True. Friends is a nonprofit corporation recognized by the Revenue Service as a charitable organization under Section 513 of the Internal Revenue Code. The purposes and objectives of Friends is to advocate for and support a system of safe and sustainable hiking trails for public use in the UPass area and promote stewardship for trails, including education for responsible trails use. Friends is led by volunteers and utilizes volunteers to accomplish its purposes and objectives. This agreement will provide much needed recommendations and actions to address deferred maintenance on hiking trails within the town of Green Mountain Falls. The risk of doing nothing include increased risk of erosion, trail grading, where multiple trails are created by users, cut switchbacks, and overgrowth.
I think everything in there rings true.
One of the reasons why that was added was we have new eyes that are looking at the work that we do. And so he wanted to provide a clearer background of who we were for those people that never knew about us.
The comment is coming from your
Friends.
knowledge of the
Yes, sir.
group.
Yeah.
And when you say new eyes, that means that people are looking at you as a leadership group who is trailblazing trail building.
Well, we have, we, of course, you know, the Friends was recognized as a trail group of the year this last in 2023. And we also have new donors that are looking at us. And so we just want to be clear as to who we were from the Friends perspective.
I think this has turned into a beautiful relationship between PRT and Friends Group. And the trail maintenance is undeniable that it's being done well. So is there a motion to make a recommendation for trustees that they sign this agreement?
Well, knowing that I am a member of the Friends, a director, not an executive director, but I am a director, I move that we accept the contract as written.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great. 2024 PRT goals. So Nancy has put together a draft. Full park bathroom location and redesign. I think that that is clearly something that we are working on. It should remain as one of the goals. Because going different.
I agree, yes.
Dumpster blind work and CPW grant. I think we're all in agreement there. Any comments on that? Spring workday. Let's make a goal of setting a date for that next month.
Okay.
Fall
Yeah,
Creek
that-
Week,
That was successful.
yes.
The spring work day last year was very successful. So maybe the word will get out and we'll get even more people volunteering so that we can have more in-kind hours.
And then I think for that, just making sure that we have the town dumpster or a place to put a shred pile for the next chipper day would be a good idea. We always gather up more on that day than I think is out there usually.
Agreed.
Let's see, Fall Creek Week cleanup, that was also a great event. Well supported, ties into, who does that?
Mm, An organization in Colorado Springs.
Yes, spring cleanup week.
Yeah.
So I think partnering with them makes a lot of sense. They do supply some support with volunteers and with equipment. And so we'll forward to doing that one again, and we'll let them set their date for us to schedule hours. Engage the community, confirm Imagine Park names. I think that is ongoing and should stay on our on our list. Same with town signage restoration.
I put a question mark because I wasn't sure if that was done or not. I
You
mean,
know, I think it never ends.
okay.
Honestly,
Okay.
as we. I think that just is a goal that we continue. Working on that as we're asked to, and as new projects come up, dumpster pile need signage, if the reroute of the American Discovery Trail happens, that will need signage. If we get the bridges, those will need signage. I think it's an ongoing need, and
We still have signs that haven't been touched yet, too, that need.
so maybe, that's a good way to keep this on our goals, is to have someone volunteer to go out and make this signs.
The existing ones.
Yeah, I think that's still in the. It sounds like you have an idea on that.
You get the action item.
You know, I'd like to volunteer to inventory the signs that need work.
Recognize private citizens or groups who have improved areas of town with signage and thank yous. How did that get? I think we tried that last year and it went to Board of Trustees and it died there. If I remember correctly.
So the history is that there was an area adopted in town that the Board of Trustees didn't feel like they wanted to have more signage for. But then when the 4th and 5th graders came up, they were very supportive of having some kind of signage to recognize the 4th and 5th graders. So it was sort of a divided thing. It was sort of like the group, like the Triangle Garden and the other little rock garden that's on Lake Street. Those were sort of like, yeah, no, we don't really want to recognize those, but we really want to recognize the 4th and 5th graders. So it's sort of it was sort of a mixed. And so that's how it died, is because it wasn't really a defined. It wasn't supported overall. It was just supported with certain groups. Does that make sense?
Yes, I think, my opinion is that we should draft up some proposed signage for each of those locations. All the way to a mock-up and forward that on to the Board of Trustees. And they can pick and choose. I have, you know, I think it's a mistake to have the Triangle Garden be as beautiful as it is, and people pay for that out of their pockets. And I think it's a missed opportunity to thank them with a plaque. And even if that happens like it does over at the Aspen Memorial Grove behind the Lakeview Terrace, that it's a small plaque that's attached to something, even if it's
Low.
faced down
Mhm,
on
yeah.
on one of the timbers that goes around it, and it's a missed opportunity. So maybe instead of it going to Board of Trustees as a discussion item, there's a mock-up which shows that it's discreet and in concert with the rest of the town sign.
Well, and I think it also sort of designates that area as, you know, then someone won't come and try to take care or plant, you know, it's already been adopted and it's already been claimed so that people realize, not only will they realize who to thank for that area, but they'll also realize that, okay, this area's been done. Maybe if I want to do something, I go and look for another area. Does that make sense? Sort of marks their territory a little bit. So, and I know the fourth and fifth graders, and I'm not sure where that went. They were going to bring a design also of their own, but it could be we do something presented to the fourth and fifth grade and see what their input is.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so that's how we'll approach that one.
yeah.
Inventory of memorials in town and document the town records. I think it's critical. I know that we've done that with the memorials at
Sterling Basin
Park, for lack of a better name so far. So a few more parks in town to do that, and yeah, I will schedule a walkabout with.
Was it Jay?
Katie Gardner.
I think Jay was supposed to get that.
Yeah,
So we'll keep it on the list and
Yep.
let's try to get it complete this year.
Yeah.
We're about a third of the way there. And then formally put that on the town record somehow. PRT master plan, GoCo grant. Nancy. Is that master planning for all the parks?
So that
Or is
was,
that the next in line after the piece?
that was going to be. That was going to be getting the funds from GoCo so that we could have the funds to do the big master plan. And that was like a couple of years ago, and it sort of just got forgotten because we have a lot of other projects going on. And yeah, we were going to try to get the funding from GoCo so that we can do a huge park master plan.
So I think a lot of the work that we're doing right now.
Is
with
part of that.
agency
Yes,
and
it is.
full park, that we're doing the work and maybe we're missing on an opportunity to have some financial assistance.
Yeah, it's a matter of
So
just,
before the next PRT meeting, would you come back with that grant application deadline and what we need, and let's see if we can apply for that again.
oh, sure.
Mix that, application for and grant is separate up to July.
That gives us, I think we can squeeze that in. I don't know, we're busy. ADT reroute, I think, we all agree that that is on our list, and we have submitted, I believe, everything to town manager to make that grant application.
And we're gonna discuss that after this.
Flagstones on Gazebo Island, we've found the vendor who does that work. We have not got an order form from them because they don't like to answer the phone.
I will check up on that.
I think I sent you.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll keep that on our list. Renovating the old marshal's office. I think it's fallen to the bottom of the list because we have a lot going on,
Yeah,
but that's area that we can focus on when we're doing the master plan.
yeah. And I just think it needs to stay on there just to be visible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Renovating creekside areas. I'm hopeful that with both the ADT reroute and the reimagining of Pool Park, that is being addressed there.
There is another creekside at Gazebo Park too, to think about.
We got lots of creekside.
We are blessed.
Yes, we are.
Engaging community revisioning Memorial Stone Basin Park. We are on target with those, tonight. Tonight should be the last one.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can wrap that up nicely. We'll see. So we're on target there. Repairing, rebuilding gazebo bridge. Grant has been awarded and we believe there's an RFP out on that one. And I will touch base with the town manager about that one because it's critical to another project. Repairing the gazebo, and we assigned that grant application to Phil and Phil McIntyre, one of our members, kind of felt like it was over his head. I sent the application and had an initial review of the gazebo with Joe Good from Intech Engineering. And he's gonna submit to us an estimate for Intech to help us with that application. And that would be Intech working with town staff. It's all, the majority of that is engineering. What's not, town staff is very familiar with, so I think they could work together and wrap that up. It's just above the knowledge base of our group, I think. And old gazebo park rules sign redesign.
You know what that is?
Are we talking on the west end of the lake or the east end of the lake?
Don't do directions on me.
The land office end?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because really that sign should come down.
And Dawn had collected all the pictures for the Midland and history, and that's where we were sort of gonna go with just having the history of the Midland train on that, because we don't need the rules anymore because we have them on the wayfinding sign or post. So it was on one of our agendas and it sort of got bumped back because of all of our other activities, but I put it back up there just for visibility. And we really do, Dawn's done the legwork on it.
And I worked in conjunction with Claudia
Yeah,
Ely.
yeah.
She provided me with some historical context. And I think would be a nice addition to the town land office that's there.
And I did hear from the UPass Historical Society that they were excited about that happening. So it's out there that they're waiting on us. So if you take what you've put together, gift wrap it in a bow and hand it to me, I will get a draft.
I can get it to you. I have all of that. Because
You have this
gave it to me.
Oh, I did. Okay, good.
I told you to give it. to me.
So I'll bring back to this group. a
Okay.
draft that we
Okay.
we can look at.
Okay. And do that. Is there anything else that needs to be added?
I mean, yes, the clause that says, and we'll take any other one from town staff or the board of trustees. Because that is a place where we're hitting our stride. And really able to help, I think. So,
You have any additions, Don?
Yes, but I'm not gonna do some today.
Oh,
There's always new
Oh.
things to do.
Okay,
I don't want to get anybody depressed.
just make our list longer. It's okay. It's okay. Gives us, that's what goals are.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, of our goals last year, we completed the majority of them, and we probably completed more additional tasks than were on goal lists. So,
That's probably accurate. Yeah, because we had a lot of emergency things, unexpected things come up that we had to take care of.
yeah, so I'll move that we accept that. Accept the drafted goals as our goal list for 2024.
I'll second it.
Terrible. Just came out that.
I'll second the terrible motion.
See, this is Robert's rules light. This is where we are right now.
We're consistent,
We are.
and we give every person here an opportunity to speak.
Are you gonna ask for a vote?
Yes,
Okay.
all in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
all right.
Review the CDBG grant application, reroute American Stroke Trail.
I think Becky has that.
So since, this got listed or sent to your agenda, I have included, well, I have received 2 additional letters of support to be included in this packet, one from Friends of Youth Past Friends and one from the store. So I'll be adding those. I did get a little bit of feedback from, the program administrator that had some questions on the application, so the final product will look a little bit different. There was, I didn't think that we qualified for the LMI. Or I thought that I didn't think we had to complete that because we didn't qualify for the low LMI, which is the low to moderate income category. But I got some feedback to put that in there as a perceived benefit to people because there's no charge for being of the area to use it. So that by definition makes it one of those places that looks more likely to come in fairly person to be on a limited. So that's one of the changes that will go in there. I would like to discuss and though I'm not sure if you're able to pull that up or how much time you want to dedicate to making some revisions to this today.
Well, it's due Friday, correct? But you want to hand it in tomorrow. Right.
So that we have a chance to-
Yeah, I think we've got time to spend on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have another meeting at 6. We got 3 hours.
Oh, we've got that far.
I decided on my vote for the name of the park. Still in Basin Park. It just like came on me and
Was
That's
it on
the-
the list?
that's the perfect name. Yeah. Because it's really the original name. That's what I'm going to go for because it kind of set itself in stone. It's become. Memorial Park.
So what, hotel park?
No, Memorial Park.
Oh, leave it as Memorial?
Yeah, because it's definitely a memorial park. It's no longer a park. It's just a hole in the ground. So now you see the pun.
Ay,
Okay.
ay, ay,
Yeah.
okay. Then quit your day job.
So you got too much time to think about these things.
You do, you need to get out and start working, build some bridges, do
I
something.
already got something lined up for the summer.
Okay. Right.
I'm gonna rent a popsicle truck and drive around the neighborhoods.
With some
As I'm-
music?
Huh?
With some music?
Yeah, oh, yeah. I'm gonna campaign too at the same time.
You actually. Well, okay, the election's in April.
I'll never get started.
Project name, Green Mountain Falls Urban Trail and ADA Improvement Project. ADA is really important for us to have in the titling. I did notice this one thing and took it out of the main one. This is the maximum amount of funding available in this grant application is what should for the stars. They click that box, they do want this to see those completed, they do. Allow for extensions if we see anything hanging this up, but I didn't check that box as well. In here. Well, anyways, what will be accomplished with the CDBG funding that you are requesting and who will benefit from the project? I think that in this narrative and these narrative portions, what's really needing to be communicated is that we have an opportunity through these partnerships with our partnering organizations to make this happen right now with the ability to utilize historic Green Mountain Falls Foundation property as well as the buy-in from ADT.
So did you say from El Paso Avenue to Joyland Church? Is that just the first section we're looking at?
Part of this is not exactly where we need to go over it today. Part of this was me taking verbiage from the presentation at one of your previous meetings, all of those slides that Gordon provided.
Oh, okay.
So if these need to be adjusted, please let me know. I'd love to make those changes in real time.
Yeah, because we're gonna take that trail all the way up to like Town Hall, right? Or is that what we discussed or
Well, and to not limit us, let's.
not?
Don't tell.
But to connect it to where it is up there at the, sorry.
Yeah, to the connection point.
On the other,
Stop.
yes.
So we could say to the town limits at Highway 24 on the, what end?
The northerly end.
I think that's loose interpretation, because if we get to, maybe instead of saying Joyland Church, we could say. Red View Trailhead.
Yeah, that would work.
And one word.
Trailhead, yes.
You spelled
I think it usually wants you.
What does it look like? Trailheads?
Oh, well, maybe not.
Let's
Put it to-
hyphenate it. So the accomplishment here is, significantly rerouting the trail away from the main road thoroughfares of Ute Pass. Are there other near-term large accomplishments that you perceive will be, that will benefit the community as a result of this?
I know that Gordon, in his letter had a whole list of safety advantages, like crossing driveways, and he did the count. That'd be,
And that's
And
attached
that's
to this.
included in here.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I can reference it here. I can say that the supplemental materials. Supplemental material, what's that? I gotta figure out what that document is actually called. Yeah, I'm just gonna call it infographic. Attached to this application. And that's where we have a word restriction with the space. I could say, please see attached, infographic. You know. I redid this application for this year, and the formatting is
A little different. You know, it's. If we can get in there, increase pedestrian safety,
Yeah, that's, put that safety word in there.
greater access to open space.
I'm gonna put that in under the long term, because I do have some space under there, so. I think that our. Near term is okay with just that statement of what it is. The long term ends up having increased pedestrian safety and increased access to open space.
If it can be made multimodal, that is a key word with a lot of agreements. Multimodal with the applications, in other words, make it so it's bike accessible and pedestrian accessible, but that's also, that seems to be one of the key words that focus on multimodal.
Well, and doing that only makes it easier to make it ADA.
That's true.
And also the ADT it's already embedded in the trail as a multi-use trail. Yeah, and if we need to, get some reference to that, I'm sure we can find it.
Multimodal.
Yeah, one of those words.
Okay.
Increased pedestrian safety and access to recreational opportunities, is that how we worded it? Outdoor.
Open space.
You know, Creekside is another option of open space, but yeah.
I think open space is a good word.
Why is this project necessary in the community, and why should CDBG funds be used to address this need?
That's your safety.
And I said there are current pedestrian safety issues throughout town. The space designed for pedestrian use is an 18-inch portion of the road shoulder and is not wide enough to accommodate wheelchairs or mobility scooters. Additionally, there's not enough space in the right of way to construct pedestrian safety features. What are the quantifiable goals of this project and how will they be measured?
Can you scroll down, Becky, for
Uh,
us? Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. I'm gonna have to be bumped it a little bit. I got a little piece of the thumbs for me. So quantifiable, they want to know a very specific item. So here it is: construct 4 pedestrian bridges to traverse the Fountain Creek, allowing allowing pedestrians an alternative to walking along the roadway where the current American Discovery Trail and pedestrian easement exists. Improve 2 designated parking areas, access new trails to enhance accessibility and safety. And I would almost like to add in here, if funding allows, begin trail improvements as necessary. I'll just put that in as begin trail improvements as funding allows.
You might consider 4 pedestrian bridges to traverse Fountain Creek, allowing pedestrians an alternative to walking along roadways and greater access to open space. It's,
And then period and start the next sentence.
yeah,
Tell me again, Jesse, I'm sorry.
well, it only came once.
See, now you know what it's like to take notes.
An alternative to walking along the roadway, allowing for greater access to open space.
Yes.
Next sentence still makes sense, whether the current American Discovery Trail pedestrian easement exists. Yeah.
Yours. Does that include horse?
I was just gonna ask that.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Especially if it's a support animal.
They do. Yeah, they do. They were at the stock show, actually. We're reaching out, see if they'll come to Bronx.
I did lunch and then it's sentence as a result of this. Where the American Discovery Trail pedestrian easement exists, I'm just gonna make it say, installation.
I think I can sew it together if you read the beginning.
I'm sorry,
I think I can sew it together if you read the beginning of what you got now.
construct 4 pedestrian bridges to traverse Fountain Creek, allowing multi-local users and alternative to walking along the roadway. And allowing for greater access to open space. And then so I put period, because it's too long of a sentence. So I think the next sentence ends up being installation of pedestrian safety features. Where the current American. I'm gonna say installation, oh, that's not really quantifiable. I don't wanna address that. I'm gonna take the next.
I'm still on the first one, so traverse the Fountain Creek, allowing pedestrians an open space alternative to walking along the roadway where pedestrian easement exists. I think that all works.
An open space alternative to walking along the roadway. And allowing for greater access to open space.
Allowing multimodal users an open space alternative to walking along the roadway where the ADT pedestrian easement currently exists.
Gotcha.
Yes.
All right, I think we met in the middle on this one, let me know. Construct 4 pedestrian bridges to traverse Fountain Creek, allowing users an open space alternative to walking along the roadway and allowing for greater multimodal access to open space. Along the American Discovery Trail. We're gonna start using voice to text. What did we miss out on that?
Construct 4 pedestrian bridges to traverse the Fountain Creek, allowing multimodal users an open space alternative to walking along the roadway where the current ADT pedestrian easement exists. So you already have the whole sentence there. It's just saying allowing, where we pick up at pedestrians, allowing multimodal users an open space alternative to walking in the rest of the states. As you have it. Right?
I'm gonna have to undo a couple. No.
It doesn't have to be.
Did you get me a vehicle?
Yeah. think it reads well.
It's like from another universe.
So did you have to train 20? Because Rebecca did it
Yeah, for
herself.
an hour and a half,
Rebecca did too herself.
and I'm still struggling in the quantum leap. Wow.
Looks nice.
Super. Super nice. It did look like a super convention. The fact that-
Okay, I'm back on track. Construct 4 pedestrian bridges to traverse that particular way, no sidewalk users, no alternative to walk on the road with that front and there can be separate trails and allowing for greater access to open space. Is that close? Get closer?
That's good.
Okay. Improve 2 designated parking areas accessing the trails to enhance accessibility and safety and begin trail improvements as funding allows.
And that's the parking area across from the corner and the parking.
On the creek. Right? Because it goes right along Ute Pass. So they're walking behind Mucky Duck, Blue Moose, the creek parking, the church parking on the others, that's where he's getting all those parking spaces. Where you're walking behind those parking spaces.
Yeah, Gordon had a great picture right from the Blue Moose where, a big long truck was
Yes,
sticking
yes,
out
yeah.
over.
So you're walking
the
out,
trail.
yeah.
Yeah, so I appreciate the improvements being the crosswalk painted across there at that site, and then the one at the far end of town, which I think is still on El Paso County's property. But I bet you they'll let us go, and there needs to be some pedestrian safety.
And we really need a third one here where you cross town hall to get to the other side.
But for parking or for.
Sorry you're talking crosswalk, so I jumped in. The third crosswalk
But
that we
two
really need.
parking areas, and then those trail improvements include some striping and crosswalk.
So the parking areas are Lake and the parking around pool park. And the one down my left on the corner. Is that right?
I was thinking downtown by the pantry. Where we looked at.
Oh, yeah, that
area.
crosswalk.
And then the other being at, on the county side of it. But if we have to, we can, and we find that it needs to be adjusted when we're closer and award it, we can put it then.
And this is gonna be a multi-phase, right? So it's gonna be what we can,
Well, whatever,
Yeah.
we can
Yeah.
do whatever we can with funding as it
right,
permits.
right.
So then. Next question ends up being, if you are unable to grant the full request, what is the minimum amount that you would be willing to accept that was slow your project to be viable? I put in there $240,000 because to me, that was the cost of the bridges plus the installation, from JIP estimates. And then some additional funding to do parking improvements. That would effectively cut out fluff. And any opportunity to do trail alignment improvements through there. But I feel like the bridges are the hardest part, may as well start there. And once that's accomplished, it's set in motion, it's hit the event horizon. So, and I just wrote because of permitting requirements, for the bridge installation and a portion of this project should be completed as one project to minimize the ecological impacts and bank stabilization. $60,000 of this project would be to improve accessibility at parking area and causeways and could be accomplished in the subsequent project. And like,
Just a question, is that? When I read that, it suggests to me that. If we don't get, the 240 is not doing much to help with ADA. I might be wrong, but. Because even if we mention the bridge installation. The ADA standards. I think that at least we're speaking to. We're looking at that all the way through the project.
um. So you want to focus on parking areas over,
No, I'm just saying that, let's make sure that we say that these bridges. Help us get to ADA standards.
okay,
So that we're focused on that. Tip to tail.
oh, wrong application. So, just a caveat in there, bridge. I don't think it goes into the description of the grant, I think it goes back in that right there. And you need to, include some additional information up in this right here. This portion of it,
I think the pieces,
why should CDBG funds be used to address this need? And I think that an additional feature or additional statement that we could make in this portion of the grant application ends up being that without the bridge realignment or the bridges, the trail realignment cannot occur. And therefore, the existing roadway does not meet any safety or accessibility standards. Not that to me, that previous. The installation of the proposed bridges is critical to this project and goals to create to the other without these critical important access points. The additional trail, the alignment cannot occur. Is that better in that picture?
I think it helps. You are the expert landfinder, so.
I found that they really only want the information in the section that they've asked for, so. Yeah. If this project is not awarded this amount of CDBG funding, how will it be effective? And like you said, this project will not be completed until funding is secured.
It's true.
Outside of that, we've got our project budget. I anticipate that there will be staff and volunteer time of 60 hours. This is on hand. This would be purely administrative. I based this on a figure of approximately 60 staff hours. And so a little bit of volunteer, but primarily staff. We could embolden this with, volunteer time. It's just a matter of what specific activities are the volunteers doing. And how do we like but this is something that when I talk to Luke, they will be including this in the next revision of this application, so that we have an actual location of play that's not particularly easy to identify where it goes.
If this were not due tomorrow, I would say that, because there's a potential for historic to help support it. And I don't know if, is the easement on historic property, does that have a monetary value?
Certainly securing the easement's gonna have some legal review and those, and so I think that, I should probably just put in an estimate of what I think that that cost would be. The other, when you say supported by historic, what are you thinking?
I think in addition to granting the easement, which is something, that there may be, some landscaping dollars that we could apply for. I think that, I think the town could request a grant from to support this in addition to the easement.
Okay. And I think that there's another way to approach this. If there's a shortfall within the funding and we're not able to meet our goals, we can submit an application. And I might reword where I've got it in kind support staff and volunteer time. I might just say this in kind support staff and administrative. And then that way I'm able to talk, because the other thing too is I don't want this to be perceived that and the likelihood of an easement isn't that it hasn't already been finished.
Okay.
And so that's something that I think that prior to the award deadline, when they're reviewing these, we should have some sort of an answer for them if this is in process and here's where it is in case one of the reviewers asks that question.
Got it. I didn't state my thought very well, is that does that easement have any type of monetary value that would be considered as part of the project budget that's on, to be awarded? And I don't know what the answer to that is.
And I don't know either, like, it's, to me, it's somewhat intangible to say that this is the value of it or versus not, and so it's really hard to put a number figure to that just because.
I can tell you in the oil industry, they are very valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's, producing something or it has the capacity to produce something.
Right, but in the oil industry, you're able to look and say, this is how much oil we anticipate being able to get out of this area.
True.
In this case, it's
So it's not a land value.
I mean, it is, but how do you quantify
Yeah.
it? It's definitely a land value.
Well,
and
we didn't consider it, a land value because we didn't own the land. It's just, it's an asset that is able to, produce income. So that's an asset. What is it able to produce? Other than, ease of access, public safety, those are, I guess we're back to intangibles, yeah.
All right, thank you, Becky. Let's continue on.
Where are we at here? I did not put in any of those personnel, items because those are really off. This is more for when they are looking at program support in their offices. And we're already paid for, so.
That's HUD. We're not HUD.
This is fun. Let me get to where our next page, we will. Something like that.
He said she needs to.
So the table that I'm hoping to complete ends up being this one. It's, we have three options: LMA, LMC, or LMI. Luke has provided me with this data, so I just have to input that.
So at that one meeting, we were just like, we're 51% and it needs to be 49%. Are we still at the 51 or has the new census come in that we?
Exactly. I think we're still waiting on this.
Okay, all right.
It's hard enough to get people to go be census workers in the normal world, and the last one occurring during COVID.
Yeah, yeah.
was Just
Yeah.
a disaster.
You were so close.
So I needed to uncheck that urgent need.
For the LMI, yeah. Like, I mean, we're 51, it's 49 is the break off.
I'm quickly highlighting the areas in my master application that will need to. I need to go back to. Yes, I love that. No, thanks for being very much. Outside of that, down in section, 4B, public facility and infrastructure.
No, yeah, nope.
I want to give you some justifications, for some of my thinking here, so that we can talk about it. 8250, I figured we have 680 or so full-time residents with an influx of additional ones, half of that almost in the summer. So that's that's kind of where my thinking was with that. And it's a figure that I used in the previous grant application, and they seem to be okay with it. How many more persons will we receive if we receive this funding? I think this is an opportunity to just say that we anticipate residents from Teller and El Paso counties utilizing this trail. If additional. ADA improvements are made. This trail is a non-B area. Approximately. How many people do you think are more inclined to use this? 500 per year.
Number, I mean, that,
I think you could even say 25% because I think. Because of the open space that it gets you to. I think locals are gonna use it more, tourists are gonna use it more,
the school will use it more.
and when it eventually creates that loop around the whole park.
Yeah.
That's a great flat, the whole thing is very flat,
Mhm.
not many great changes, so it's more usable to our elder population.
Aging community.
Yeah, there you go.
That was the whole impetus of having a loop around Pool Park, you know, thinking about us in the future, way in the future.
Well, maybe you not so far, but
Girl,
Jesse and
I'll
I.
get you up.
There with your key.
The next question is, I just want to make sure that we've got, experience administering federally funded projects. But yes, as a project's architectural and engineering work be completed. In this box, I wrote yes. The bridges are prefabricated. With engineering.
Engineering's completely awesome.
Well, you've done them before.
I haven't done them before, I went out to 3 different people and put in queries of the ones they answered,
Mhm.
it's the one that I used, and I think that's part of this packet.
I'm sorry.
The bridge costs, and it's part of the packet.
I could take you out
so-
to some prefabricated bridges that we saw on a road trip in the state park, so.
Does your organization own a facility or amenity that you'll be improving and not, if not rentable and own the, property? The 4 bridges are locations are on property, the other 2 are property on property with easement granted to this town. How long will the facility amenity be used for its intended purpose? Definitely, they're going to be charged for the use of the facility. No, our funds already increased to operation facility after improvements, not applicable. What days, and I just wrote 7 days a week during like daylight hours and frequent events after dark. That's what we put in previous grant applications and it was acceptable. Per our insurance policy, Lester said we do have to have hours posted on places. We usually stuck to that daylight hours. We know that people will be using it at night, and that's fine. We just have to have it posted. And usually people that are utilizing those areas after that provided their own source of information.
It'll be important, I think, to have those neighbors who,
Right, neighbors and, the marshal's office, they're gonna have to get called out. It's better for them to not have to get called out over something that's preventable.
and I always think it's nice to tie all that back to the parks rules.
And that's it. I did include an additional page of our organization description, but it just no longer fits in the space that they allowed for us. I believe that we have included all of the necessary information within the state they provided for us to get it done. They're well aware of the project and its need after our discussion. The photos tell a million words. So that was really a great addition to include into this.
And thank you to Gordon for,
Huge help, huge thank you to Gordon. I was like, I had beer.
I'm sure he'd appreciate that.
This is just the.
That's a nice letter.
Yeah,
That's a great letter, yeah.
so I'll include those other two letters of support. I think that we're ready to fire this off.
So you said the other one was from Friends, and is it from UPass Historic Society or Historic Green Mountain Falls?
Email both of those letters.
Friends and
Friends group.
Right.
Story.
also, oh, okay, HG.
Wasn't there a letter from ADT?
You, right there.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
I don't. but it's-
I don't know what's going on. Yeah, it came on last night.
Yeah, it was chilly. It was. I had my gloves on.
I was like, oh my gosh, do we turn it off or do
Big faces.
Yeah.
or do we keep people from falling asleep?
I did. Sorry. Sometimes I can't control my face.
So we should call it a point of information.
Where's your notebook?
That's Jesse.
So are we all done with this then, Becky?
Yeah, we are, and I can read you these letters. From to you, tax trials. Your Community Development Advisory Board, this letter is in support of the Town of Blue Mountain Falls grant request to obtain further funding for an urban trail and ADA improvement project. Our plans believe this project will be made for a safer, more pleasant user experience and will allow for a wider trail less than currently exists. Currently, the youth pass trail fails to safely provide separate vehicle and pedestrian safety within the town limits. A mere 2.5-foot wide white strip, even on the shoulder of the busy road, delineates the pedestrian portion. Works well over 100 parking spaces require motorists to back over this white line trail to access the road. Most users currently avoid this pedestrian hazards altogether. The trail route proposes a safer alternative for users, including commuting elementary school children. Since the reroute will be built to meeting standards, this trail will also provide a sizable elderly population and those with mobility issues to access local churches, restaurants, and public spaces without solely relying on vehicle access. Our 7 certified trail designers and 13 crew leaders stand ready to provide technical expertise and mentorship to the Mile High Youth Board work crews at no cost. We have successfully collaborated with Mile High on several projects over the past dozen years. If you have any questions, feel free to reach me. We have not included any elements of Mile High Youth Corps on here, but it's a great idea and a great option. We did apply for a couple of different projects from various funding sources to work with the Mile High Youth Corps this year. The one application that went into GoCo for fire mitigation was not funded. And the reason for that, when I reached out, was that they were refocusing those more on trails. So this is a perfect fit for that. Once we get the bridges in, we're gonna need support with getting the trails installed. And they've got young, strong backs. So,
Or even in advance of the bridges. I
right,
mean, once we're clear to go.
right. You hit the ground running. So that's really good. The other letter. Sorry, Green Mountain Falls Foundation, their Community Development Advisory Board, just in support of the town of Green Mountain Falls plan to reroute the American Discovery Trail The opportunity to greatly improve pedestrian safety, increase access to ADA standards and planning and high creek site access to a pedestrian trail. All compelling reasons to support this concept. This development route is a development for the and around the county. A significant percentage of our population is advanced. And this reroute will provide accessibility to students in communities because of the hours. That's the great. The Kell reroute also reduces pedestrian safety to our local element. The certain foundation as a legacy. Project and our enthusiasm about creating access to the property, which they dedicated as town open space. So both really, really relevant, again, supportive letters.
Perfect.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate your help.
Yeah, of course.
Got it done.
Gator.
Check that one off the list.
Show us the money.
All right, so that takes us through our new business items correspondence.
Becky, can I share the snail mail that was brought to, mailed to town hall, and it was from Joe Olds, and he is retiring from picking up the dog waste. At the, he's just said he didn't really give a reason. I don't think, I haven't read the letter. Todd was just telling me about, the mayor was telling me about it. And I was thinking we need to have a recognition for, I think he's been doing it since they've been put up. And I don't know how many years that has been. But, maybe we, PRT, can sort of come up with something. I know he's a very quiet guy. He doesn't really like the recognition, but he's a silent hero in our town for doing that. So, yeah, just, we can put it on an agenda item to talk about later, sort of get some ideas. I'm not sure if that gets presented to the board or if how that would work. Do we need to advise the board? But I think he deserves some recognition for what he's done. And he's a good guy.
The board will not.
Okay.
You know, this year, I promoted the idea of having an awards banquet for Friends volunteers. And,
I was Vanna.
yeah, she was like Vanna. It's, even the simplest things, when people get recognized publicly, it's very, very encouraging, very supportive, very communal. And I wouldn't mind seeing the town, kind of roll into that.
To full party.
Oh, yeah, that would
Oh.
be good.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah.
So, if you think the board would want to collaborate, maybe this goes to the board of trustees first, and we come back and ask. One of the favors of the good depot would be nice. Yeah, I think everybody will have some good ideas.
So that would be an advice memo that I would be writing to the board. How does this work?
I think that we can, do that.
Okay. Okay. Say that PRT is interested in,
supporting
Yes.
a combined
okay,
effort to show Joe their.
We could even have lifetime achievement awards for people that have already worked and retired. It might bring them back in, build the old fire back up again.
Any other correspondence? So let's move on to reports. So I think in the packet are the notes from the previous town meeting regarding the Still Basin. We have what could be our final reading of that public engagement tonight. Yeah, I don't, you want to review these notes?
No, I just put these in for FYI, because it was in August. And so just to refresh your memory of what was talked about and, you're presenting the final
I'll be
site
presenting
plan.
an updated
Updated.
site plan tonight, which I believe took into account all of the changes for hardscaping. Carla Chapman will be here tonight
Okay.
to talk about plants. I think we go through the plant list again with the community. And I'd like to lock down what that plant, what the plant list is.
Mhm.
She'll be talking to us about the grass mix that we like to hydro seed there. And then she'll talk really about the sustainability of that grass. It's all basically, it's a mix of native grasses. And easier to install. We're not having to amend the soil as much because they're.
It's native.
Right, it's
Yeah.
native, so, hopefully we'll settle in on a park name tonight. That's really, trying to bring. This is a wrap.
Oh. I don't think I think that's a nice gesture, but I think he would not be comfortable.
So that's a plan for tonight.
Okay. A good plan.
Yeah, that's all. Presentation.
No, it's just.
Super skate at the lake. That'd be very good. I'll give her a report on that. We made a misstep by not picking the town manager earlier. This. Was. Do that. It is a great way to support the park and get people to enjoy the town of asset that is underutilized. So happy about doing that. I think it's up on the website. It is, yeah, there's a new event, actually. It's Facebook and I'll start a little bit of Facebook push this week. So we do have a gentleman who wants to come out and teach ice fishing to kiddos. So that's gonna be fun to advertise. We did get the Parks, Recs and Trails Committee of Colorado Springs has agreed to launch skates. And the town manager is working. So it's like we'll be able to supply on a limited basis, some ice skates. And Reverend Arlene put me in touch with a gentleman who can assist with green hockey. The town manager has put me in contact with someone who may be able to give us a big fire pit Dawn that we'll have to go pick up.
As long as it put out some heat.
Yeah.
Good.
I think it's gonna be.
1,000.
All right. Can we put it on the ice? We can? Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Whoops.
Yeah, so I think plans are coming together and that's pretty easy. When the pack things put together, so.
So have you made any progress on obtaining a Zamboni?
I'm gonna say no, although the town manager had the lead on one, that's all I know.
Arr.
I think we want to probably determine what the weight of the Zamboni is and how much I will need. To not have a move off the Zamboni.
I think you put out a chart
I
that,
did.
and, that said how much weight that like 9 inches would be ample. What? What?
A Zamboni from 1971.
Does it run? Or is it somebody gonna loan it to us?
The hard part is getting it up here. Figure out a low boy or something to transport it.
Mhm.
But yeah.
I think the town has a low boy. Oh, okay.
This would be like what they use to move a dozer.
Yeah. It's a dual axle.
Yeah, it's a matter of how to get it up.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
So,
Back up out of that rabbit hole.
Yeah. In the meantime, like we've been, I did reach out to the fire department to find out if they could put ice or water out on there. But if we were to put water out, fresh water out there on the town, it would cost us quite a bit in gallons of water. I did put the chief Monday regarding last time that they did that, with their tanker. And, tender. And he said that what ended up happening is it put a weird 2-inch crust on top of everything. And that what they've seen is that, it just with the warm temperatures, with that sun creating the ice sheet is the best case scenario that can happen. The guys are continuing to try to scrape it as much as they can. We'll see what happens after this potential storm this weekend. And they're gonna look at what they can do to tidy it up for next week. Or the next weekend, next week. So they do have a pulse on that. I think that weed burners would probably a really good option for getting out there and melting it and getting that sheen and kind of replicate what the sun does naturally. And I know that there were some other ideas that were sent by, but they do have some options that they can engineer and try out.
All right, any other questions about that event?
I have one other comment on it.
Please.
When I let CPW know that ice fishing was occurring out there, they are looking for a location for 2025, the winter of 2025, to be able to host one of their events. If we could partner with them on it, it could include a really cool through the ice delivery of solution.
What?
You know, when
Music.
Through the ice.
sort of what brought me to the idea of this event was thinking about underutilized town assets. And I Googled top 10 lakes to ice skate on in Colorado, and we're not on the list. And some of the ones that are on the list, we can do that. We can do that. This is a place, this is a thing that lean into. 20 years ago, when I would come in winter time, you know, the lake was packed on Sunday afternoon with people ice skating and that activity. It just, I think we've lost the institutional knowledge on how to maintain it, so I'm excited about
Bringing it back.
everybody else getting excited about it.
Yeah.
Really fun.
Yeah, it's getting traction on social media, which is good.
Okay,
Good traction.
nothing else. I'm gonna adjourn this at 4:27. Yeah. I learned last night I'm supposed to make a motion on that. I'll do it next time.